Hitler's speechwriter was a real grammar Nazi. Yeah. You already know what it is, baby. Gang. Happy motherfucking Friday.
Yeah. Friday.
I'm Styles the Prophet.
I'm B Show.
And I'm Jonesy.
Together with the Basement Weirdos. This is the 4G Audio Podcast. And I'm looking fucking fly tonight. No, I just looked at myself. I was like, oh, my hair looks so good. But anyways, happy Friday. You already know what it is. Yeah. Cheers, boys.
Back.
Little fucking happy Friday. Cheers.
Happy Friday.
And, I would like to say something real quick, though. Whether you guys are fucking watching or not, I'm going to say this. And you'll see it at some point, I promise. But I want to shout out all the guys at Mckenzie Lake. They're out there for the legend Matt Oreo for his bachelor party. And I was saying to someone the other day that I'm like, bachelor party, everyone thinks like, the guy's in a tutu. We saw that in Montreal too, guy in a tutu. But you think like guys in a tutu or a diaper or something, and like,
is that still a thing for is that a thing for like bachelor parties?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Oh yeah.
I guess I'm out of the loop.
And then, but yeah, I'm just thinking like usually go out in the city party and like everyone is like, it's a public thing that like this guy, everyone's like harassing this guy for like getting married or whatever, right? Or not for getting married, because he's getting married. But what I'm saying is this is totally fucking the opposite.
Yeah.
They're all just going, and I'm not complaining either. I'm not saying anything bad about it.
This is what
but they're going to a cottage, and they rented a cottage, and then a couple of them have boats and stuff. Nice. They're gonna go like fishing, and like I think one of them has a tube and stuff, so you can go tubing and shit like that.
Do you know where they went? Like more north?
Yeah, so it's a little bit north. It's a little bit north of Barry's Bay, I believe.
Okay.
It's not too far from Barry's Bay, I think. Yeah. And it's it's called Mckenzie Lake. Apparently, there's four Mckenzie Lakes in Ontario.
Really?
But this one is outside of a town called. And then that's where I say the town if I can remember it. But yeah, no. So it's a bunch of lads. It's the guys that if you check out episode whatever the fuck of the day in the life of me, I think it's like 3 or 4, and I go ice fishing and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Just look for the ice fishing one in the description. So it's all those guys from from Constant Lake, the Constant Lake Crusaders, aka the Creek Boys, aka the Buccaneer Boys, aka my dear friends.
Big shout out.
Yeah, so everybody be safe out there. It's a good little tour up in the bush, so that just means it's a good long tour back to the hospital.
Yeah, true that.
Shit. So fuck everybody. I mean, how is everyone doing? It's been a long time since we've been in the studio together.
It feels like it, eh?
Been a little bit since we've seen you guys looking at us through there. But how you guys doing?
Pretty good, man. Life's been pretty busy lately for me. Moved into a new house and all that, and getting settled in there. And
actually, if anybody's looking for a good place to eat, B Show's house, 4 years running. 4 years running. What was it? What did it say?
Where to eat?
Yeah, where
Ontario
to eat Canada. Canada. So running 4 years, best place to eat, B Show's house. So if you want the address, message me, and the menu's insane.
We'll give you.
You got to live up to that standard now.
Yeah. That's good shit.
Shit, how's Jonesy doing, man?
Hey, man, no complaints. Busy at work.
Yeah.
Being a dad and all that shit. It's just nonstop.
I see you got your boss truck.
Yeah. Man, it's so funny because like
is that just because of the car situation?
Yeah. Okay, so like I need to get to and from work, right? So like my truck shit the bed.
Real quick, that's usually what you pick up when you get to the shop.
No, that was like one of the grass crews trucks.
Oh, it's just okay.
Yeah, I drive a big fucking like diesel dump truck.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry, yeah.
But anyways, so my truck shit the bed, and so my boss gave me her Audi to drive for like the first 2 months. And it's one of like, you don't even need to stick the key in, like you just push. It's like the most dope ride. Like I did not want to give it up, and then I give it up for this like. So they ordered a new like work truck, so that one came in. So now they've got this spare truck that I could use. So I had to fucking give the Audi back. And I use this spare truck now. And
go slash the tires in the truck.
Sorry.
Tires,
sorry.
Go to the shop.
Need the Audi back.
It's leaking gas and stuff.
But yeah, man, like it's just not the same. It's fucking manual windows. I got to,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
work truck.
Like, it's just brutal compared to the luxury that I was driving for a while.
Yeah. Probably a rougher ride too and everything like that.
Yeah, it's not smooth, that's for sure.
Yeah. But once you get into your new whip, it'll
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
and that should be
gold.
like end of this month, I hope.
Yeah.
At the earliest.
All good things take time.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. You were saying too you might sacrifice the color.
Yeah, well,
Or,
so I ordered like a gunmetal gray sort of like.
So it's like a darker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, compare it to your shirt.
It's about the same. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Nobody can see that, but it's
Yeah.
it's gray.
It's the color of his shirt.
Yeah.
I guess this is why I should be on camera. Eh?
Yeah, do it, man.
Whenever you're ready.
But yeah, they said that there's one. I would have to wait a lot longer for that one to come in.
Yeah.
They said there's a black one available by the end of the month, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll take it.
Take the black.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Black's
I'll buy
not
that for $1.
Yeah.
Does everybody remember that in The Simpsons?
No, I can't say I do.
He fucking Bart was in some place, I don't know where it was, whatever, but he was in some place and like in this one room in that place, like down the hall, they were doing auctions.
Oh, yeah.
And so they were like auctioning shit off.
Yeah.
And like inadvertently, like he had no clue what he was doing. He just opened the door and like, oh, it's an auction. So he's like, I'll buy that for $1.
Yeah.
And and I guess no one had bid on this thing. So
Yeah.
he's like, I'll buy that for $1. And they turned around like sold to the
Sold,
kid
yeah.
or whatever. And he bought some
The factory.
yeah, like a
That's
factory.
right.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I remember that one.
For $1.
Yeah. I'll buy that for $1. Shit. But I just want to mention too to everybody, we did have a guest for tonight.
Yes.
Little mix up. This is not the first time this has happened. They thought we were in Toronto, and
Crazy.
and like I said, it's not the first time. We had I think it might have been an AF maybe or somebody, but somebody one of the first times they came here, they at the last second we're like, oh shit, you guys in Toronto? We're like, no.
Yeah, right.
I hope you're not in Toronto. They're like, no, me neither. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that might have been AF. But yeah, it's been a bit of a month for us. Actually, ever since
really.
the storm hit, it's been a bit of a...
Actually, yeah, and speaking of AF, we have an episode of his that is in limbo.
Yeah, it'd be like
it is.
one of the long lost episodes.
Yeah, I think we have 2 so far that we've lost. That one and Jay David.
Jay David, yeah.
But I do have, I shouldn't say we lost it. I do have the fucking thing. It's just whenever I went to put it on, it didn't work. It said it was like
Pending or whatever.
doing something,
Yeah.
making stuff special.
Yeah, it says processing.
Processing,
It still says
that's it.
processing, and it's
Yeah.
been there for like a week.
Yeah,
2
and I
weeks.
like
Yeah,
took it
man.
down and put it back up, and
Yeah.
then whatever, waited. But like I said, it won't even play on my computer either, though. So it might not. I don't know.
Yeah.
It might just be the file itself. Like,
Yeah.
It could have
doesn't
just
work.
been the way it's saved.
K wrapped.
Yeah.
K wrapped bad.
Unfortunately, but
God damn. But yeah, no, it has been a little bit of a shitty week. So yeah, we had that one because of the store. Actually, no, it's funny because it was that one would have came out. But we switched the Friday for a Saturday.
because that was
and then the
I had
storm
plans, right?
was on a Saturday, so
Yeah.
then it ended up fucking shit up. So
That's
we
right.
recorded it instead of because we had power, but we didn't have the internet. And then what happened the next week?
The week
still
after
had no
that
internet.
Was no internet.
Oh, yeah, we still had
and
no
we
internet. Yes,
didn't-
that's right.
Yeah, we shut her down.
So we just didn't do it. Yep, that's right.
Yeah, there's that accent right there. Shut her down.
Shut her down, bud. And then there was last week was Deep and Dirty Valley Boys, but
Oh, right.
they canceled and I stayed in Montreal.
Montreal.
Shout out to Montreal.
Yeah.
So we did the Zoom thing
we did
instead.
A Zoom though. We
Yeah.
we got it.
Made it happen.
That
Yeah.
was all right.
No, for sure. And yeah, we were able to. We're always able to fucking jump right back into it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, what are we smoking on here?
Oh yeah, so this is called Garlic Storm.
Garlic Storm.
It's called. Delicious.
It is quite delicious.
It's GMO and
GMO.
yeah, garlic, mushroom, and onions is GMO.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what? I
not
don't want to
like-
be smoking no GMO.
Yeah,
weed.
yeah. Well, and that's just it. First time I ever heard of the GMO strain, I was like, okay, wait, you guys are talking about like it's cool. Like you're talking about like it's a good thing. Like, oh yeah, it is. It's really good. You've never tried GMO before? I'm like fucking Fruit Loops and shit.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, whatever. But I don't know.
might-
I heard Fruit Loops have GMOs, and then that's why I say that. But yeah, and then I found out later years that it's garlic, mushroom, and onion, and I forget what it's mixed with, but it's a couple different kinds of weed,
Okay.
or like not different kinds of weed, but different.
Do you know like the THC like percentage in this shit, or do you just get it and like?
No.
Yeah, so that's like the one benefit, I guess, if you can call it a benefit, or like a dispensary and look at the packages, you can see like they're.
But see, even that though, like so many people, like they go in and they go, like, oh, I want the strongest shit. Give me the highest THC. Usually, sativas have the highest THC or a higher THC level, and sativas aren't a strong high.
Yeah.
Whereas like you get like an indica, like a lot of the weed I smoke is probably like low 20s, high teens for percentage.
Yeah.
But it's the weed that puts you on your ass, you know?
Right.
And so for some reason indica has a lower THC, but we always say like I think it's because of like the entourage effect they call it, where it's like there's like CBNs are the ones that are like the like
in
like
the couch.
Get you like so if there's the right amount of CBN and THC and then you got the other whatever, you know, so if it has all those things together and the right amount of them all, it's like your chemical makeup in your body and stuff, right? So with the different levels, you're like, oh, it gives you that real heavy high, but then you would look at it and go, oh well, like this is 27% and this one's only fucking 21, but that one makes me feel fucked
man
up.
So I got a quarter of like some that I think it's like 20 something percent. It's not bad. So the other day I stopped at this, it's called Wavy. I don't know if you've it's like a big store. It's real nice. And it was the day I got it was pouring rain.
Okay.
So I'm like on my way home early and I stop at this dispensary. I'm like I just go in and the guy's like, what are you looking for? I'm like, I just want a pre-roll to smoke on my way home, like
excuse me,
like I don't care if it's sativa, indica, I don't like hybrid, I don't give a shit, just I want something that's strong. And he's like, how strong we talking? I'm like, what, how strong you got? Like, so he pulls out this pre-roll and it's like 39.74.
Oh, is there hash in it or something?
I don't know. I don't think so. It was just like there's three little pre-rolls.
My buddy was telling me yesterday he got a pre-roll blunt that had hash in it, and he said it came in at like 40-some fucking percent THC or whatever. And I was like, what the fuck?
You get those ghost drops in a blunt.
Man, I was fucking stoned. Like I was high. Like I didn't expect it either. Like at all. I'm just like driving. I'm like all of a sudden I feel like I'm like just like sinking in my seat. You know what I mean? And I'm like almost like dissociating with myself, just like in my own head. I'm like, oh yes, I'm driving.
Like that.
Shit.
You know what I mean? So then, I was like, fucking okay, concentrate on what you're doing. This is
we are driving.
Do not operate machinery.
Dabs the joint out.
But I was, because like I smoke while driving all the time. Like, you know what I mean? It's never really that big of a deal for me. But this one was, man. Like, like I said, it was good shit.
Must have been. What? Like, how big was it?
They were just three little like tiny little pinners. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It could just be the change up too. You know what I mean? Sometimes I find you're just too used to the same sort of thing, and when you make that sort of change, you really feel the effect, the new effect.
Even sometimes I smoke like some outdoor and shit. Like I don't really fuck with outdoor too much. But like sometimes I'll smoke some outdoor and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, I feel different, you know? Because I find it's fucking hard to explain. I was just gonna go all weird with it, but I find like it's like it's gonna come out fucked up. like okay, I smoked that. I'm like, okay, I get this like effect like right on my body, you know? But then like with that, it's like it's kind of like out here, you know what I mean? Like it's like you're not like fully like this, so it's not like it hasn't hit you fully, but you're like I can feel the thing, and I kind of like that because it kind of gives you room, like you know what I mean? Like, and again, I know that sounds fucked up, but it's just like I feel like it's almost like it's just like going, but at the same time, sometimes it gives me more of like a fucking like a head rush from actually smoking the weed. So then for a little bit, I'm like what'd you say? Like, but then like. After it's like a lesser of this, you know, like,
it's just like smoking like a quarter of something strong, I guess, right? Like you're like, oh, I can only smoke.
But it's like just that change, right? It's just that like a little bit of different thing, right? Or like even too like you go from a different strain, right? Like this is all I have this one only right now. So then like finish smoking this and then like go get some. It's like not that it doesn't matter what it is, but a new strain is just gonna give me a different feel.
Yeah.
But especially if it was that high of fucking THC though, like
Yeah, man, 39.74, so basically 40%.
There must have been something else in it, though.
I don't think there was. Really? He never said there was anyway.
Oh, and I guess if it came in a pack of 3, usually the
it was like a 2
throughout the 3 of them, right?
Because before, like, I mean, and when I say this too, like, this information comes from fucking like maybe like 2017. Yeah. I remember they said that the highest at the time was like 33 or something like that percent. But again, that's 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, so that's crazy.
It did the trick, that's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. Felt like I was flying, man.
Yeah. My buddy actually, so he doesn't like really smoke weed. Actually, we had him on the show. Shout out Mersh. I don't know if I should call him out for this.
Like,
but
too late, I guess.
I think he was like the 5th episode, maybe, or something.
Second guest, maybe.
Or something, or like, maybe he was earlier. But anyways, yeah, shout out Mersh. Gang, you already know what it is. Actually, you can go check out Trail Bars Cypher 2 on Spotify. Mershaholic. Anyways, I'm getting way off.
We're both on that. Are we both on that track?
We might be. I forget. Are we?
You guys were both on
it was like me, you, and
okay, yeah. There's like several people on it.
Yeah.
I think so.
Maybe not. Maybe it's not that one.
That's look at this.
Oh, okay.
Look at this. Yeah. So yeah, that's just me, you, and Mersh. This one has split verses. Yeah, and I'm the anchor. Ooh. I start the anchor verse. But anyways, what I'm getting at, I completely forget. Oh, Mersh. So back in the day, like me and my buddy Damien, we would smoke weed, and then like me and Damien went to school together, like at the same school, but then we like lived like pretty close to each other. But then like Mersh went to a different school, and he lived like out of town, and so I never really knew Mersh like whenever we were younger. Yeah. But then knowing Damien, like Mersh would come into town and hang out with us and stuff, right? So me and Damien were like smoking weed and shit, and Mersh wasn't really smoking weed. So that I fucking I wasn't there for this, but I just remember Damien would always say this to him. And he'd be like, hey, he's like, what's going on, man? Like, yeah, we'd see him uptown or something. Like, hey, he's like, you floating home tonight? Yeah. And that's his way of like saying you want to come smoke weed with us.
Yeah.
Because I guess one time they smoked a bunch of weed and Mersh smoked some, so then they left and they were walking like away from where they were smoking the weed. Yeah. And Mersh is walking. He's like, man, I feel like I'm floating. And like I said, I feel bad. I don't know if I should be calling him out for something like this. I guess whatever. He just got stoned. But anyways, just let him tell his story.
Early days.
But yeah, no, so yeah, you floating home. So then yeah, we'd always be like, hey man, like floating home tonight, man. Like,
bro. Yeah, I love
shit.
that.
But I remember though, man, like you'd be walking and it feels like your legs are just going like this.
Yeah, totally.
But the ground's moving underneath you.
Yeah,
you see the yellow
had that
light.
Exact same experience. I wasn't high on weed though. I was high on something else.
Oh yeah, nice.
And it was very like realistic though. Like I'm just like convinced I'm like walking.
It's like static place, or whatever.
You know what I mean?
Or
I'm just walking in on spot, and like the whole world is just moving underneath my feet.
Right. Yeah.
It's like a giant conveyor belt.
Yeah. I remember biking like that too. Like, oh, it's like they're like I'm not moving. The ground is, you know, like shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I remember the first time that weed really hit me was at the Renfrew Fair. And I was in that mirror maze.
Shout out to Renfrew Fair.
I was in the mirror maze. You remember that?
Yeah,
it's like fucking, and it was exactly like that. Like pretty much started to feel like I was floating, but I was in there, and I knew what the maze was all about. So I stick my arms out, right, and I'm like feeling my way through, and I felt like I was in a fucking video game, man. Like I was just like floating, my arms are numb, but I can feel the walls, you know, right? And then I made my way through, but oh wow, it was just like
yo, I remember though, like you say the video game thing, I remember we'd be like biking and like the fucking the lights, like back in the day, the lights would be like yellow or orange tinge or whatever. And so I remember, we'd be biking, we'd be beside each other, and we'd like feels like I'm in a video game, because you just see like, because even too like the pavement kind of sparkles in the light.
Yeah, it has like the rocks in
it,
like
going past. You're like, oh, and then it's like yellow. So like with the yellow, it creates this like not real look. You know what I mean? Like nothing has a yellow tinge, like except for my fucking TV. You know, like so it's just like, oh man, it feels like I'm in a game. Like shit. Yeah. But I remember the first time I got fucking like stoned off weed was I smoked weed like 300 times before this probably.
Yeah.
And I would just get this like, oh man, I'm stoned.
Right.
And it would just because my eyes were heavy. I was like, oh, I'm
heavy,
stoned,
yeah.
right? And I was like, so that's what it is. It's not even that crazy, you know?
Yeah.
And then, and it's not, I guess, if you get used to it. But then one day, man, we were smoking. We had like some kind of like shitty fucking outdoor or something, you know?
Yeah.
And it might even been like shake or something, you know?
Yeah.
And so we went
Good
and we were
old
at the
shake.
the ODR boys.
ODR.
We were at the outdoor rink.
Yeah.
And we were skating it up. And anyways,
Clapping
so
some pucks.
fucking we went and we rolled this fucking two paper. Sorry, wait. I rolled this two paper. We're like fucking 12 years old or something. 13. Anyways, so we roll this joint, we smoke this joint, we go back for skating and shit. We put our skates on, we go back for skating. And Buddy's brother shows up, his older brother with some friends and shit, and they're like, yo, and it's funny because I was going to tell this story to a buddy the other night, and we just got carried away or whatever, and I didn't. But for another reason, because fucking, it comes in later. But anyways, so these guys show up, they're older than us, whatever, right? And they show up and they call us over to the bench. So we go over to the bench, like, hey, what's up? Yeah. He's like, you guys want to smoke this fucking hydro joint? And I was just like, joint for sure, yeah, cool. But like, what's this like fucking hydro thing, you know? Yeah. And so everybody that I'm with is like, no, we just smoked a big fatty, whatever. I'm like, yeah, we smoked that like shit, you know? So I'm like, so I turn to my buddy, I'm like, what's fucking hydro joint? He's like, oh, it's just like good weed, like it's just like indoor or whatever. I'm like, cool, I'm in, like let's do that. So we go, and back then it was like 3-toke choke. Yeah,
right.
Good old 3-toke.
So I take my skates off and I go with these guys into the bush, and fucking there's 3 of us and we're standing there. So I get fucking seconds, right? So I take the shit and I pass it around. When it comes back to me, I'm looking at the other dude and he starts laughing. Yeah. And I start laughing. And he's like, man, look at this guy. And I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like trying to grab the joint. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Yeah. And I take a couple more puffs. And like, or no, actually, before I even went to take a puff, I realized I'm standing there like this. And I'm like trying to take a puff. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, hey, get this grin off your face and smoke the joint. So anyways, they're like laughing at me because I'm already like fucked up. Yeah. We go back, I put my skates on, and this is where the story I was going to tell my buddy the other day. He comes in, he was a bit older than me. We grew up like on the same street. But he was a bit older than me, and they moved away. And so he comes into the rink, and I'm sitting there putting my skates on, and he looks at me, he's like, hey, what's up? Yeah, he's like, look at you fucking fry box, eh? And I was just like, fuck, is it that bad? Like, what's going on? But that was the first time, too, where it was like, like the frames and shit. That's what happened
at the fair for me as well. It frames, man. Like, I just look this way, and it'd be like, boom, boom.
Now I'm out fucking skating on the rink, and this girl is trying to, like, she wants me to teach her how to skate, but, like, really, it's just, like, she just wants me to skate with her. Yeah. And I'm like, I can't do this. I gotta go. And so I go and I sit down. So then and I'm like, okay, all right, I'm good. I go back out. I'm skating around. And Buddy had all these pucks in his pocket. So if you lost your puck, you go over and he'd give you a puck. Well, like, I had it in my head that, like, because they would, like, oh, yeah, here. And then they'd, like, look over at me, like, what are you doing, you know? And I'm like, oh, they're going to throw pucks at me. Yeah. And I started getting right paranoid and shit and, like, all this shit. And everything's like, I'm like, I can't defend myself when there's all these, like, frames and shit. Like, what the fuck? And I had to go sit down. I'm like, man, I'm too fucked up. Like, something's wrong with me. And then from then on, whenever I smoked weed, that was what I would feel. Like, I would go in the store and be like, oh, shit. Like, am I touching the chips yet? Like, oh, fuck, you know?
That's great. Man, me too, though. Like, even the first, I probably smoked 2 or 3 times before that. And never actually got high.
I smoked a
lot.
They
say that you don't get like. I think I remember getting high. Definitely the first time I smoked weed.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh, man, I never.
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
I did not for sure.
I thought I was getting high.
I cheeked it or like, I felt like I was smoking it properly, like inhaling it. You know what I mean? All that. And I never really got high. But that night, I smoked joints, but then I also smoked a pipe, and that was probably my first. And I smoked a couple. You know what I mean? Like, I smoked. I wasn't really concerned with, like, this is what weed high is like already, you know? Yeah. And then I just walked into that maze, man, and my life changed. Like, the frames, even after, man, like, I thought it was just in the maze because of all the glass and shit. Get out, all the lights after, I'd look around, like, this way. And everything as I moved this way was just like framed, like boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, running into people you know and stuff.
Oh,
yeah. And man, I was high. I even remember one of my buddies being like, "Man, it's like 4 hours. There's no way you're still high." And then I'm all like, "Man, like I can't go home right now." Yeah, it's probably like 4 or 5 hours later. Like,
yeah, waiting it out to go home.
Yeah,
but...
I remember going home and like opening my window and like doing all these stupid.
Why? Because you smell like dope.
Yeah, but for
it's so
sure.
funny how obvious it is to anyone else. You know.
Man, one time I sprayed fucking cologne in my eyes. Oh, I didn't spray it in my eyes. I sprayed it on my face so that I could be like, my eyes are red because I sprayed cologne in my
Yeah, right. Yeah, see.
That only works once, though, right?
Yeah,
you know, exactly. Yeah, my buddy used to be like, I was swimming in Cody's pool.
Yeah, the chlorine. That only works for. Yeah.
Shit. It only works when you're actually swimming in Cody's pool.
Yeah. Shit.
I have a question. Or no, actually, wait. Sorry. I just want to say this episode is sponsored by Pretty Boy Swag.
Pretty Boy Swag.
But I also wanted to ask, was there a birthday recently? I see a little thing over here.
Oh yeah, it was Odin's first birthday.
Yeah, well, and I figured because it kind of looks like a 1 too. Yeah.
It is.
Right,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to Odin.
Yeah. If he would understand what we were saying, I would say it to him. No.
I'll make him watch this one day.
Yeah. Happy first birthday,
it was
dude. Damn.
The 6th?
The 4th.
4th, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say the 4th too.
June 4th.
So that was like that was last Saturday.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah,
And then you got a birthday coming. Oh, no, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, my mom made him like 2 cakes, one for everyone to eat and one for him to just like dig in and smash and like throw around. Man, he made a huge mess.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. What do they call it? Just cake smash. Yeah.
Yeah, cake smash.
Yeah. We got my son like a Cars cake. So it was like Lightning McQueen. And I was like, so we got 2 cakes.
Yeah.
But I was like, thought we'd eat like the nice like fondant cake and stuff, you know, like I was like, oh no, we're smashing this one. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I thought it was cool just because it's like,
oh yeah,
there'd be lots of pictures of him smashing the cake, and it's a car.
Videos,
It's sick.
It was funny. He loved it.
No, yeah, that's.
I think my mom enjoyed it more than anybody.
Yeah,
else.
no doubt. Yeah. It was for her. Yeah,
definitely.
Was it a huge cake too that he smashed or what?
It wasn't massive.
Or I don't mean huge, but like
regular size fucking cake pan, I guess.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, we threw it everywhere. I was like snatching pieces of it because it was actually quite delicious.
Yeah.
I'm just
Nice.
Was he eating
handfuls.
it though? Yeah.
He didn't know what it was at first, right? Like he was just
for
like digging into it, and he's like, oh, and then he was like, I guess it was the icing on top all over his hands, and he just starts like shaking his hands to get it off, and it's like hitting the ceiling and like going everywhere. So yeah, and then eventually I was like, okay, like put it in your mouth, kind of thing.
Try it. Yeah.
Tried it, and like then. I think he was more having fun, just
playing,
throwing
1
it around.
years old, for sure.
Yeah, why would I eat it when I could smash?
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. When was that? You said last week?
Last Saturday.
Yeah, sick.
The big 1 year.
Yeah, and then you have a birthday coming up too?
Yeah, my little girl turns 3 on Tuesday, so tomorrow we're having her party. And
3. I remember the first episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Man, exactly.
We got called out.
Yeah.
And you know what's weird
Yeah.
is
That's right.
the number 3 though has come up, and not to be like, oh, numbers, but like, and not just the number 3, but like 3 years. Excuse me. So when I was actually looking at our guests at one point this week, I saw something, and the post was from 3 years ago.
Okay.
And then what was the next thing I saw? One of my friends posted a picture on their story of like her and a bunch of girls in Vegas.
Okay.
And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, you went back to Vegas again? I'm like, crazy, yeah. And then it was like 3 years ago.
Right.
I was like, that was fucking 3 years ago? And I'm like, holy shit. And then actually today, me and you were talking about something. I said that was in 2019. Oh, yeah, whenever I went to the concert, it was 2019 September, and oh my god, it's fucking 3 years this fall or whatever, right?
So that's like the podcast when you went to that.
Yeah. So that's like a few times now that 3 years has like just to like, and not just like 3 years has come. 3 years ago, but every time it's put into perspective for me.
Yeah.
Different things, you know what I mean? Like even right here, like I was like, oh well, like if he's 1, then like she must be like 2 or whatever, right?
Right.
But then you're like 3, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But at the same time, like, holy shit, that was 3 years ago, you know? And then I'm like, oh yeah, because the podcast. But then I'm like, anyways, it just every time that has happened this week with the 3-year thing, and then like I said, every one of them was 3 years.
Yeah.
But it made me, holy shit, yeah, that fucking thing, or like all of that.
It's crazy, man. Time is flowing.
Yeah,
it really has.
Which is like just take it in as much as you can. You know what I mean? Like any moment you have with your kids, fucking take that chance, because it's not there forever. You know, one day, like, you know, you're home and you're tired. They come, they like want you to read their book, and you're like, oh, I'm like super busy or whatever. It's like, man, one day you're gonna go check on them, and they're gonna be like, leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly, man.
So like take it while it is.
I'm probably not far from that, but I actually was just showing my son how to mow lawn the other day. Yeah. And I mean, like, he says he's like used the lawnmower and stuff before, right, or whatever, but I like showed him, try to show him like tips and like how to fucking start the thing and like all this and whatever. And I was just like, you know what, like, cool, but at the same time, I'm like, holy shit, it's not like, here you're like 4, like try and ride a bike, or like I'll show you how to like throw a ball. It's like, run this thing, and like, you know, like, it's like, holy shit, like he's like, he's getting big, or like, you know, he's getting old, this kid. Like,
it's like actual responsibility, you know. Like something that takes a little reasonable caution, you know what I mean? Throwing a ball, whatever, don't throw that at anyone, you know what I mean?
No,
this is like, you gotta pay attention, you know. It's responsibility.
Well, I fucking basically like hovered over him, like, it's like fucking walking around watching him and shit, and I'd like come over and be, hey, like, watch your feet, and like he was never close to his feet, but I'm just like remembering all these things. I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I was told, right? And like, and that's a hazard, right? But yeah, no, it was just whatever. Either way, it's just different, because it's like, holy shit, teaching how to mow the lawn, you know, like next thing I'll be teaching him how to drive, and like, you know, fuck. Anyways, but
it's sad that, you know what I mean. It's always like emotional, like being like, you know what I mean. Yeah. But it's like, you just got to be grateful that you get to experience it, because it's a great thing. You know, I think, anyways.
Oh yeah.
Like, like it's a great thing, and I'm happy to experience it. You know what I mean.
For sure.
I was scared. I was pretty scared at first, but now, man, I'm.
Second time right now, it's gonna be easy, right?
Well,
well, it's funny too, because it's like the it's like a lot of the stuff kind of goes out the window with the second one. Not that I have a second child, but like not only have I heard this, but I could understand it, because now, like, I'm like, oh, like, they can handle this or that, or like, you can do this thing. It's like, oh, you don't have to like, right? Like, me and my buddy were talking about the other day. He's like, because we were talking about immune system and stuff. He's like, that's because you fucking sucked on your fingers and there was dirt on them. He's like, it's because you did this shit. It's because your fucking soother fell out of your mouth and your parents just picked it up and put it back in your mouth. He's like, that's why, right? And so he was saying, he's like, man, he's like, fuck, he's like, my oldest kid, he's like, he's like, I might have like given it a wipe on the pants or something, or like, you know, if there was something, I might actually like use my finger, but then just like, poop, here you go, like, fuck off, unless it like fell in shit or something. Like, he's like, I'm just like, here's your fucking soother back. But my point is, you like see what you can get away with, or like not get away with, but you know, it's like,
it makes sense.
You can see it, so like, you're like, they can cry for a bit, or like, you know, this is good.
I treated Stevie like a fragile piece of glass, and I was so nervous about everything. And then with Walter, I've like been like, maybe you were too like, you know what I mean?
Too loose with it?
Too loose and too like
one
too
hand
quick
and stuff,
with
like,
it. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes he'll start crying and I'll just like go and scoop him right up or whatever, and I'm like, maybe that like freaked him right out, or like, you know what I mean? Like, to me, I'm just like getting it going, whatever. I'm doing what I'm doing.
You're almost supposed to leave them too for a bit. Like, just so that they know you're not gonna fucking come running right away or whatever. Man, like, sure. He like literally, he's going through this thing where like you literally like look away from him and he's just like, he was doing all right today. I didn't even know he was fucking there. I like almost walked past him, then he was sitting there like, fucking eyes like this, and he's like sitting there, and I looked at him, oh hey buddy, I'm like, hey, what's up, you want a pint? Like,
you want a pint? That's funny.
He's getting big quick too. He's only 3 months, man. He's like 16 pounds.
Really, eh?
Oh yeah, man.
Wowza.
Double the weight.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like he's a big boy, for sure.
You know what? I'm bigger.
Yeah. Damn right.
Ah, shit. But you know what, though? At the same time, though, there's a chance that my kid might be bigger than me.
Probably will
in
be.
the long run.
Probably will be.
Because he's got double the fucking jeans.
Yeah.
And 2 pairs. But
yeah, right. Right. It is his mom's.
Yeah.
A tall woman.
Yeah.
As well, yeah.
So I think he's got that, and then on top, man, like right now he's like I think he's like 10.5, 11 size, like for shoes. Yeah, and he's in grade 5.
How tall is he?
He's 5'5", I think.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I wear 13 or 12 now.
Yeah, man.
I mean, my foot's.
Well, I remember I was in grade
not
grade 11. I was 11 years old. I was in grade 6, and I remember doing something stupid.
Yeah.
And the fucking teacher on the recess duty or whatever was like, "Act your age, not your shoe size." And I was like,
yeah.
That's better though.
Yeah,
like, you know, like I was
yeah.
like, that's better. Like that's older than I am right now.
Yeah.
I will.
Grade 5, yeah, I don't know, man. I always had big feet, but I don't know about that big in grade 5.
Well, and like he's like, I'll be like, "Yo, those are cool shorts. You just get those?" He's like, "No." I'm like,
yeah.
Where'd you get those? And he's like, "Oh, they're Andrew's," and like that's like his stepdad or whatever.
Oh right.
Like, what the fuck? Like, this guy's fucking sick. They're like, "Holy shit!" Like, "Oh, those are cool shoes." Yeah. I'm like, "Fuck." They knew? He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, they're like pretty dirty already." Eh? He's like, "Wow." He's like, "They were Andrews for a while."
Right.
I'm like, "No way."
Getting
Like,
the hand-me-downs.
Yeah, from his stepdad. I'm like, "Holy shit."
Fit into it already. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Shit, man, that's wild.
But yeah, I was just like, that's funny.
Bigger than you.
He's also his stepdad's a pretty small dude too. At the same time, so like.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So yeah,
right?
it makes sense. But it's just funny. I'm like, holy shit, really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Fuck, 2 years you won't even be able to fit into that stuff anymore.
No, yeah,
It'd be
exactly.
too
Yeah.
small. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, he was stoked too. I got him the flaming hot Mountain Dew.
Oh yeah.
And,
yeah, you were telling me that on Monday.
Flaming hot Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
man.
Tell them about
spicy
Mountain
Mountain
you
Dew.
went into. Yeah.
So they have. I'm surprised I didn't bring this up last week, but so they have. Oh no, I might not have found it until the
At
next
that
day.
point,
Yeah. But so, I'll give you the long version. So
I usually do.
Yeah. I went to this other store and I got a Colt 45. Shout out Colt 45 and the store name here. When I looked at the store name, I wasn't able to say it anyways. But back to the store. So they had a thing called fruit champagne, and like it was like just a bottle of pop, but it was like maybe kind of pinkish, and it has a bunch of pictures of fruit on it, and it said something about fruit punch. So I figured it was just like fruit punch, just like a carbonated fruit punch. And then they had a banana pop and like a blueberry Faygo, which my son.
When you say they, is it just like the story?
This story, yeah. And my son wanted me to get him Blueberry Faygo because it's a song from Lil Mosey, Blueberry Faygo, and so anyways, I get these drinks, right? And so my friend's like, I pull up to their house, and like right beside their house, right beside their building is like another building, and they're like, oh yeah, like if you're bored, like go in there, like if you like those drinks and shit, like go in there and get it. And I was like, okay, yeah. So I go in thinking like, okay, I just bought like these pop, you know. I've obviously bought 2 each, or not 2 each, but 2 of each one.
Right. Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I already bought these, whatever. So I'm like, I'll go in here and I'll find like a real cool drink, and I'll drink it, whatever, right? Because they said, yeah, they have pop in there if you're into that rare shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, short story long, as I go into the store, I start looking around and I go, what the fuck? I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, this is crazy. They have like all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
They have a Fanta there. It's just called Madness.
Yeah.
Fanta Madness. And
it was white, you said, right?
yeah, so yeah, the liquid is like a white, but the bottle is blue.
Okay.
And and I ended up spending $70 in this store.
$70.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I went in to buy one fucking soda, and I came out with fucking. I'm pretty sure I had over 10 sodas, and then I had like 3 boxes of cereal. Fucking, they had these Haribo candies that were like lemon and ginger. Sold. They're lucky I didn't buy all of them. You're lucky I didn't take them all. But I don't even know what.
Did this include the spicy ginger ale?
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, the Mountain Dew. So they had.
Yeah.
I asked the girl. It's funny because the girl came up to me. She spoke French to me, and I was like, "Oh, I don't speak French." And she was like, "Oh," and she said something in English. Then I was like, "Oh, cool, yeah, right on. What's your favorite drink in here?" And she was like, and then she turns around to the other girl and goes, "She speaks better French than I do," or whatever. And I'm like, what? And then like I was like, oh, she doesn't even know what I just said. But anyway, so she told me to get this. It's Fanta, but it's like it comes in a can like this, like the tall skinny cans, or not tall, but the skinny cans. Yeah. And it was mango and dragon fruit Fanta. And so anyways, I ended up getting a couple of those. They had I brought it. Fuck. Should have had a V8. Yeah, I had it in the car, and I was gonna bring it to show everyone just because it's related to our situation. But it was remember like there was chips. They were like the wrap snacks, and it was like there was one it's gonna come to me. It was like Migos on the package, and it was like Dabba Ranch, because they have a song called Dabba Ranch, and so the chips were called Dabba Ranch or something like that. And then they just had a bunch of different ones, right? So it's different chips, and like Cardi B has like a cheddar barbecue and stuff, right? And it was the company's wrap snacks, right? Well, this was wrap snacks, but it was ooey lemonade, but like the whole like brand is wrap snacks ooey lemonade, but then each flavor is like it'd be like ooey lemonade blueberry, or like ooey lemonade fucking iced tea or whatever, right? And
can you call it lemonade if it's iced tea?
I'm just imagining that they mixed iced tea in or lemonade in
like
all the drinks,
half and halves.
But I'm not sure. But what it is this one has like little baby on them all or whatever, right? And but anyway, so I only got one of those. I just got the sweet tea, and it was pretty good. I mixed it with booze, and booze is good too. I think I've seen
that in your story or something.
Yeah, and there's more, I promise. Oh yeah, and then so leading up to, I see this fucking thing, and I'm like, oh my god, they have the fucking Mountain Dew. And the thing about the Mountain Dew, it's flaming hot Mountain Dew. So they have like not they at the store, but just like fucking flaming hot or whatever the fuck. It's like Pepsi. I think it's a Pepsi thing, maybe. Yeah. They got the flaming hot Cheetos. Then they got the flaming hot like Ruffles barbecue. They got the flaming hot macaroni and cheese and shit like that. So they had like they just took everything and just slapped fucking. I think it was a lot of it was like collab stuff. Yeah. So just slapped the flaming hot shit on it, and so then they had these flaming hot Mountain Dews. Yeah. And like so I saw some dude. He always takes he has like a big boot. Yeah. And he'll pour everything, whatever he's drinking in that video, he'll pour it into the boot and then drink the boot's worth of whatever it is. Yeah. So he fills it up with flaming hot Mountain Dew. Yeah. And so I saw it before, and I was like, oh, cool, yeah. Tried to find it, couldn't find it. And then my son came to me one day and was like, oh, I saw this thing. It was flaming hot Mountain Dew. And I was like, yeah, I hate to tell you, but we're never gonna find it. And then like I was like, don't worry, like I'll try, you know. Yeah. So then at that time now, like years later, or a year later or whatever, I scoured the internet, and I'm like, I don't care if I gotta pay a lot for it. Like I want to get it. I want to try it, but at the same time, I'm like, he wants to try, you know, and that's kind of a thing with me and him too, is like the rare sodas and stuff, because I'll bring him stuff and he's like, oh, I've never seen that before. I'm like, fucking right, you haven't seen it before. Yeah. Climb the mountains and fucking.
That's it. The power of the child, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
But no, so then I I couldn't find it, and so not only did I already warn him like I probably won't find it, but then I like really like couldn't find it still, because I figured there'd be some guy selling rare stuff and it might be $50 for a fucking 6-pack or something, but like let's try it, you know. And I couldn't find it anywhere, and then I found it there, and I was like, oh, this kid's gonna shit, man.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
So I got that, and the blueberry Faygo, which I googled, and it said like there is no blueberry Faygo, and this one's raspberry blueberry Faygo.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, I'll just go ahead and get
Close
it and
enough.
be like, yeah, it's close.
Dark purple, not quite blue.
But the point is both of those drinks, we had kind of an upset moment where it was like, I don't think we're ever gonna get this, you know. And now I'm like,
I present to
like here. Yeah. He was just like, what? Yeah. What? He's like, you got it?
Punch the shit out of the air when you saw it.
Oh yeah, fucking right. Yeah, and even too, like I hadn't picked them out yet, so whenever I was talking to the lady, like later on, like she showed me some stuff, and then later on she came back, she's like, oh look, she's like, this is a big seller, you know. And I saw it, and I was like, oh, don't worry, I already saw that. Yeah. But then I was looking at my pictures later, and I found a picture that shows like a stack of like 12s of that drink.
No
the
way.
Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew, and I was like, fuck, I should have just got a 12.
Whole
like,
pack, yeah. When in Rome.
Fucking right. Actually, we said that a lot when we were there, when in Rome.
Yeah.
Shout out, I just want to say, shout out to Bully, because Bully did the French thing for us. Since
he
speaks French, yeah.
No way.
Yeah, his I won't put it out there, but I believe his
family is
he's like comes from French background as well. But yeah, no, it's funny because even too, he's like, we're walking like to go get breakfast, and we're like, oh, I'm like, where are we going anyways? Like, do you guys know? Like, are you guys going to a place, or are we just walking to look for a place? Yeah. Like, oh, we're just walking looking for a place. I'm like, all right, how about this? Like, let's fucking ask somebody, like, whatever. It might actually, you know what? It might even be a Bully's idea to ask somebody, but somebody was like, let's ask somebody. Yeah. And I turned around, I'm like, hey, and there's some old guy walking by. I'm like, hey, fucking, where's a good place for breakfast? And he's like. And then I was like, Bully. And then he turns around, he's like, oh, déjeuner. And I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure he just said dinner. And then the guy's like, oh, he's like, Cora. And I was like, oh, that's breakfast. So like, you got it.
I know that name.
Yeah, fuck. But yeah, I'm really bad at French. People, and the other thing too is when people speak French to me, I probably look like I'm dumb or something. But like they'll say something to me, and then I just stand there and stare at them. But it's because I'm like, like, do I try to pretend I can speak French and tell them that I don't speak French, or do I speak English? But it's just a thought process of like, do I do this? What do I do? Do I say what? Because if they don't speak English, they don't know what I'm saying, right? I imagine they know what is, but you know what I mean? I'm like, do I say what? Do I say fucking something else? Like, how do I do this? So then I just hit this point where I'm just like,
the shrug and like, you know what I mean? Like that usually works for me.
You know, also too, like even just like in English, you're like, someone says something to you and you're like, what? And then right as you say that, you realize what they said, and you're like, yes.
I'm terrible.
You know?
I'm so bad for that, and I don't say
I was
what
getting
I
into
say.
Eh?
All the time, man.
I was getting into my car, or I wasn't even getting in my car. I think I just went to get a lighter, and it was parked on the side of like a busy road. So I pulled up and I opened the door and I get the lighter and I like come back and I'm doing whatever, and this guy pulls up beside me and he's like, speaks a bunch of French, and I just stared at him. I was like, do something. Yeah. Like at least tell him no. Yeah. Like, you know? And then I was like, what? And then he was like, oh, and like he realized what happened, and he like went to start speaking, and I was like, oh, I'm staying here. And then he just like, oh, okay, yeah, and he drives away, and I was like, I bet she thought I was an idiot, because I'm just like, what'd you say? Yeah, right. And then he goes to speak in French, and I'm like, no, I'm staying here. Or in English. But he didn't even say anything. I'm just like, oh, I'm staying here. But it was because not only did the last thing he said was he was saying, he's like, are you leaving or are you staying? I'm assuming, because the last thing he said was something about staying, but in French. And I was able to pick up that little bit, like maybe even stay chemin or whatever, you know? Right. But either way, I was able to pick that up and the context. So I was like, oh, I'm standing at my car with the door open and he's pulling up trying to park. Obviously, this is what's up. But it was just funny because I'm like, what? And he's like, oh, sorry, yeah. And I'm like, yes. Or like, oh, I'm staying, or like whatever, you know? Shit. You guys want a donut?
What kind of donut?
I'll take a donut.
They're like, I think they're cinnamon donuts or something.
Oh, they're little guys.
You know what? They're
from Harvey's.
Your local Harvey's.
I don't think they put the cinnamon on them.
No way, they do look plain.
The last time they put so much cinnamon on them, it was all over my car. And then I took them home and I put them on the counter. It was all over the counter.
And they remembered and they were like, no cinnamon on his next order.
Yeah. Oh, it kind of tastes like chicken fingers.
Yeah, kind of. That one has cinnamon on it. There's one in there to the right.
Oh, it tastes like they sat in grease, though.
Definitely.
I know that they were deep fried in the grease, but...
They probably just throw them right on there beside everything else.
What do you got in there for the kid?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, anything that's like one of the sweet ones I got.
Yeah, you want a sweet one? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, since I'm drinking that.
Nice, okay. Smash!
Yeah.
You know, cake smash for the kids.
Yeah.
Gin smash for the adults.
For the adults, yes, sir.
Berta.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I also, too,
Greasy.
had, I guess I wouldn't have brought this up on the last show because it hadn't happened yet.
Right.
But you got some pretty good smoked meat while I was there, too.
Oh, Montreal, man.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt.
That's the place where.
Well, yeah, no, sorry, and that's why I did it.
After.
No doubt.
And it was
like
really good. But
meat deli.
I will say that I wanted to go to Swartz's, which is supposed to be like the place, right?
Yeah.
I've like heard about it, and I was told it's just a gimmick. You want to go to this other place, and I was like, all right, you're local, I'll come with you. Not only did we go to this other place, but we parked, and where we parked, you had to like walk past Swartz's. It had like a huge lineup. And then we get down, and I'm like, wait, like there's Swartz's. They're like, no, we're going to a different place. And like literally like just across the street was like this other place. It's called like Maine something. Mm-hmm. And anyways, so we get there, and I'm finishing a joint, and there's a guy like, he's got his feet outside the car, and he's sitting in the driver's seat, and he's trying to eat this sandwich and stuff.
Yeah.
And Subaru, shout out Subaru gang. But I was like, hey yo, I'm like, you get that sandwich here? And he was like, mouth all full of food. He was like, no, like, he points over at Swartz's. I'm like, there's no line up here. Like, fuck. I did not eat at Swartz's, but I will say that what I ate there, I don't even care what was happening at Swartz's.
Yeah.
It was like, the outside of it was like crusted in like peppercorns and shit. Like, nice. So, and it was like kind of like a, like it wasn't just the peppercorns, like it was like a,
the bread,
like the meat. So it was like they take the whole chunk of meat before they cut it or before they make it or whatever, but it's all covered in like some kind of glaze maybe.
Right, okay.
And then so then just the edges of the meat had like whatever. But yeah, it was so fucking good. And they had black cherry
soda.
It's like black cherry cot. You know, like the Giant Tiger company, COTT, COTT.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. But they have black cherry, and whenever I was a kid, they used to have 2 machines at Giant Tiger.
Okay.
And there was a 10-cent machine that sold COTT, and there was a 15-cent machine that sold Pepsi. Then it changed, and it went to 15 and 25.
Okay.
Then it changed, Then it changed to just 50 cents. For just Pepsi, and they stopped selling the COTT. But when they had the black cherry, like okay, put it this way: if you went to the machine and there was no black cherry, you knew that someone walked up, got a black cherry, and then just pumped the machine for the rest of the black cherries.
Yeah.
Because like it got to the point where like, you know how they'd have like Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, root beer, ginger ale, or something, right?
Yeah.
This is like Pepsi, Diet Pepsi. Black cherry, you know, like they had multiple of it because it was so popular.
Yeah.
And so like all the skaters and everything, like it was all like a thing. So like we'd be walking around with like backpacks full of it sometimes. Like if we were the guy, like, oh, so you got it today, you know, like, and but it was so good. So they had it there, and it even shows on the menu like, oh, you can get it with this.
Yeah.
They didn't have it because they're out of aluminum to make the shit. But on a side note though, or on the original note, I guess, this place was on something. It's like a show, like Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives or whatever, but not that show, but like a show like that, but a Canadian show.
Right. Okay.
It was like Where to Eat Canada, maybe actually. No, it was something. There was something like that, like places to eat or something, or like where to eat. It literally might even be the same thing. But
my fucking house.
There's like a guy. There's like a guy. You would know the guy if you saw the guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, either way, I got some pretty good smoked meat. But I went to a place though. It's called Smoked Meat Pete's.
Smoked Meat Pete's.
It's like there was like two guys in there.
Another spot?
Yeah, on my way out of Montreal. And there was two guys there playing blues music.
Yeah.
And one guy's sitting there playing guitar and singing. The other guy was playing the fucking harmonica.
Nice.
And they were hilarious. They were pretty good. But it's just like a little kind of like, it's kind of a small spot.
Yeah.
And, but anyways, it was really good. You could buy like fucking, you could get whole like chunks of fucking brisket and shit and like whatever. You can get whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
But they also we left the original place, the Mains or whatever, to go try and get black cherry soda somewhere else.
Yeah.
And we went to two different places. They didn't have it. They said they need the company can't get the aluminum for the cans, so they can't make it.
Right.
So then, while I'm at this place, on my way out of Montreal, at fucking Smoked Meat Pete's, and I'm listening to the blues band, and I'm waiting to order my food, I see a fucking 2-liter bottle of caught black cherry, and the label was in English. And I was like, you know what? I'm fucking buying some of this black cherry.
Yeah.
Fucking right. I wish it was in a can, but I'm buying a 2-liter or 2 of this fucking black cherry. Yeah. I'm next in line. I'm like the next person. I take a picture of it. They're like, oh, next. I turn around. I'm like, yeah, all this stuff. It was like the next day or 2 days later, I was scrolling through my phone and through the pictures. And oh, fuck! I'm like, I forgot to get the black cherry.
That's actually hilarious.
But like, man, whenever I first saw that they had the black cherry at the first place, I was like, I haven't seen this since I was like a teenager, you know, like if that says anything, you know, like I was like, shit. And the fact that everyone was so like, oh, there's some here, like I'm buying it all, you know, like it was that good that like, if I haven't seen it in that long, like I would buy it all, you know, like shit. It was so good.
Wild. What's that spot with the good smoked meat that we go to, the sandwich shop there?
Which sandwich shop?
By Sunnyvale or whatever, or not.
Sunnyvale.
Oh, yeah, Springland.
Yeah, by Springland. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know the name of that place.
No,
I just know it is the sandwich place.
It, yeah. That spot was the bomb.
Yeah, yo, that place isn't at the thing anymore, right? Okay, well.
I don't think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, okay. I was like, I was like, wait, I didn't give any information. And you're like, I don't think so. I'm like, he gets it. Remember that place we went? I got the sausage. It's near your work. Or like when
you used to work
oh yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, I just was by there. Actually, I went by there when I left for Montreal.
There's not even a chip truck there.
No, there's nothing there. Yeah, because I pulled up there and I was like, where am I? I'm like, I recognize this place. It's the gas station, and this is what the fuck. And then I looked, and beyond that, I'm like, yeah, if there's a chip truck there, I'm like, this is the place. And I came around, I'm like,
no chip truck.
No chip truck. I was like, denied.
Damn, man, that sucks.
So yeah.
Gonski. It's a shame too, because they did good food.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, man,
remember the pizzas we got that one time?
Yeah, man, those guys were good too. Those were the bomb. Just clearly not enough people respected the.
It was just down a little bit further.
Yeah.
And
so
oh,
they're just outside of a prime spot.
Yeah. Realistically, for sure. We got one pizza and ended up getting another pizza while we were sitting there. It was so good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was real good.
Yeah, you can go there. It's not there anymore, but you can still go there. It's like my buddy said to me one day. He's renting his house. He's like lives in another town. Like he lives in Quebec now, but he has a house in Renfrew.
Yeah.
And he rents it out, and so he's like, but he rents it to one of our buddies, our buddy Jake.
What's his nickname? Fuck, we got a nickname for him.
Oh,
maybe not.
No, I thought you meant Jake. No, I know who you're thinking of. Essential J.
Essential J.
Yeah. No, so but the person he's renting it to is Jake, and Jake we call Uncle Si.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And but so let me say all that to say this is he's like, my brother like was living in Orleans, so then he was like home for a couple days, and I went by my buddy's house in Quebec and took a picture, because he wasn't home. And he's like, what the fuck is you stalking me, man? Like, whatever. and he's like, what were you doing at my house? And I was like, oh, me and my brother were around, like, whatever, you know. And he's like, well, yeah, fuck. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, yeah. Because I said, oh, yeah, he's going to be around town for a couple of days or whatever. And he's like, yeah, cool, man. He's like, yeah. He's like, you guys are welcome at my house, or welcome at my house anytime or whatever, you know, stop by. And he goes, just remember Jake lives there now.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck you. Yeah, shout out Essential J. Shout out Uncle Si. Yeah.
Uncle Jay held us down on that New Year's episode. As a write-off.
Uncle J. Essential J.
Did I say Uncle Jay?
Yeah.
No
You just
way.
mix them all together.
Essential J, yeah. Uncle Jay. Yeah. Funny shit.
Okay, do you guys have any questions for each other?
Is the Earth flat?
Well,
you
obviously,
know what?
duh.
I saw proof once.
You what?
I said I saw proof
I
once.
saw proof once.
Yeah, it was a fucking Instagram post.
Yeah, oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That must
the
be
Earth
true.
is
Well,
flat.
and it showed a guy that I know knows about science,
Yeah.
and it said that he said it.
Oh, man.
It was
Wow.
the science guy.
You guys heard it here.
Mm-hmm.
I hope y'all fucking...
So it's confirmed.
And you can check those fucking sources
On Instagram somewhere.
on Instagram somewhere. Yeah. You already know what it is.
You already know.
Okay, let's see here.
You know.
Is this the same
Same one, yeah.
same one? Man, I'm already really stoned. I don't know if I can handle one.
Nice.
Stoned.
Okay. More donuts here too, if you guys
I'll
want.
fucking devour more donuts.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a
yeah.
fact.
There's no like drugs in them anymore. Oh.
man.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
what's coming up?
the Amber Heard trial.
Oh no.
You're
Like the,
way behind on that.
Yeah, no, I know for sure. But that's what I was gonna bring up. Was
I do
because-
believe there might be another trial though.
But like, okay,
between
didn't they both win?
I don't know.
I'm pretty
I
sure
don't-
they both got money out of it or
Something,
something,
yeah.
right? And
he has to pay 2 million out of the 15 million she owes, so he gets 13 and she like you know,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a 15 million and I guess he owes 2, she owes 13
Yeah.
million or whatever. I don't know. That's all
Stupid.
I know.
But-
I don't even really know much more than that.
I just thought it was crazy how much attention it got.
On purpose. Like,
For
if you don't think that shit
No,
was, like,
for
on
sure.
purpose,
Oh
like,
yeah, no,
fuck.
for sure. Well,
I found it so ridiculous. Like, one of the biggest trials that most people have been talking about other than that was the Maxwell.
yeah,
I seen the
Ghislaine
thing of
Maxwell.
That all
right?
happened while this was happening.
I think it was already over.
Already
but, like,
over?
the fact is that, like, nobody, it was like,
No one gave a
wasn't aired at all.
fuck.
yeah, well,
It wasn't as publicized. It wasn't. Well, you couldn't catch it on the fucking morning
it wasn't,
television.
that's it, right? It wasn't
Yeah.
televised at
Oh,
all.
and on
And
top
people
of it,
were
too.
waking up for that.
On top of
lining
it
up
too,
for that,
there
like-
was a whole bunch of information that they were like didn't want to release, but they like she was guilty or something, or like they figured something out,
Maxwell.
or she admitted
Yeah.
something or whatever.
So
But then
she
they
was
wouldn't. But then they wouldn't give the information
list.
of the list of the
Yeah.
people or whatever, right? And they're like, "Oh, why do you think they were like, watch this thing over
Exactly,
here?" You know,
yeah.
like, yeah.
Because whoever's on that list is extremely fucking.
Look, Johnny Depp's drunk and his girlfriend shit on the
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
bed. Like,
right? That's it. It's fucking pure
and
entertainment.
their dog stepped on a bee.
It's
yeah,
pure
like, as
entertainment,
if,
man.
Right?
Don't forget.
And yeah, it's kind of sad. Like, literally, the world economies are just like collapsing right now. And
Yeah.
That's what
Well, and
people
I
care
brought that
about
up.
the most.
I brought that up a couple weeks ago where I said, I'm like, why is the Amber Heard trial getting so much attention when like this Ghislaine Maxwell thing like is happening, right? And like the two people, shout out to my brother and Zor, but they were like,
Solid people.
they were like, yeah, it's bullshit. Oh, fucking all this fucking Pizzagate and all this stuff's bullshit. I'm like, okay, yeah. But then I got caught up in like talking about that shit. And I'm like, wait. I'm like, my whole point is, it's not like whether any of that's true or not, or whatever. It's why aren't we hearing about this thing that seems
Yeah.
to be so important? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's not even whether any of all these other allegations are true, it's just, why aren't they showing this thing? Or like, no, you don't even have to show it. Just tell me about it.
That's what begs the question of like that lends it more credibility that there is something that's true or that they don't want you to know,
exactly,
right?
Yeah,
like, what's the worst that can happen
if he's
in
told the truth?
A defamation case
Yeah.
between two celebrities, right? It's essentially just an acting gig for them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like they know they're like, yeah.
Over shit that happened between themselves.
Yeah,
And
I don't even
so
understand
public,
why
you know
they
what I
let
mean?
it be so
this
public.
Other case has
they
to do
they would
with
have had
a
to
lot of other beings than just two people.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but for sure,
Like,
man.
like,
And
yeah,
it's
that's-
almost a dead giveaway, really.
Yeah.
For sure.
Fucked up world.
And you almost think that they
It's
would.
all stage.
You almost think that the people putting on the show would be smart enough to know that and show something.
Matrix, man.
But they, yeah.
Did we already talk about the babies in the oven?
Yeah, we did.
We did talk about that, the kids in the
Rest
oven?
in peace. Yeah, we did last week.
That made me really think that like we're in a matrix.
Because yeah, you're right though.
It's like,
Who could
people don't do that.
something like that, man? Fuck.
Totally.
But people don't have empathy and fuck, you know what I mean? Like we all obviously have empathy and like
I have too much
compassion.
empathy.
Yeah, me too. And thing, you know what I mean? Some people generally do not, and that's where that shit happens. But it is just absolutely bizarre to me. Like I don't even, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
They're NPCs.
Viruses.
Yeah. Or yeah.
Viruses.
Even better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that they didn't have any emotion.
Right. Yeah.
But yes, viruses makes more sense. Like, yeah. But honestly, yeah, that's the type of stuff that makes me question the Matrix thing. Like, it's like, oh yeah, no, it's just like a whole like imagine.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
it. You know, like that's just what the whole fucking world is. It's just like imagine. It's like, no, like, say like something happens. You know, like they're sitting in the control room and it's beep 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 beep. It's like, oh yeah, fucking something's wrong with Styles. Like, oh shit. And then like they're like, we gotta unplug them. And they unplug me and I wake up in like real life and they're like, are you okay, man? You okay? Like, man, fuck. For a second there, like everyone was touching children and like all this shit, whatever. It's like, no, man. Whew. It's just a virus. Or like, oh no, like it's just a test, or like we were just programming this thing. It's like, oh, whew, I just feel like that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, right.
Like, no, it's good. No one's like that. It's okay.
Yeah.
They're like holding me and stuff.
Have you guys seen the newest Matrix?
I haven't.
Resurrection.
No.
Have you?
Yeah, it's very much
Yeah?
like that too. Cause like,
No.
well, cause at the end of the original trilogy, it's like everyone's kind of dead. Like Neo gives himself to
The Oracle.
not the Oracle, like the fucking Sentinel, whatever it is.
Oh, I
don't
think you
even
told
know.
me this already.
Yeah, and
Oh, I
so
mean, like I'm
in
just saying.
Resurrections, he's like constantly talking to this therapist, and this therapist is like talking him down.
Oh yeah.
But it's like when he starts to see the truth, his therapist shows up and is like, talks him out of it. Exactly, you know what I'm saying?
What?
Yeah, because basically
That should be a
he
movie
went
rating.
back he got trapped within the simulation again.
Right.
And this time in the Resurrections, he's he in this world he created the game The Matrix, so it's almost
that's
easier. Like so all of his memories from the actual like trilogy we seen, right, that he talks about, his therapist is like, you created the game, like, you know what I mean, like,
Right.
you know what I like, and it's very like believable.
So weird.
He's just put back into the Matrix.
put back in to settle down and
It's
back
kind of like
in
a
or
Terminator
whatever.
thing.
In a way, have you ever
Where
seen
the kid created the Terminators, but then he's like sent back. He sent the Terminator back to destroy the Terminator.
right? Yeah.
Or like the thing that created the Terminator.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a whole bunch of stuff. There's a cool shotgun in it though.
yeah.
He's riding a motorcycle and he's like spins it around.
Sarah Connor. Yeah.
See how I abandoned that as soon as I was like, I don't really know what I'm talking about. Like, oh, he's a cool guy.
Have you guys
Anyways.
seen the movie The Adjustment Bureau? Matt Damon.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
So it's
Jason Bourne?
kind of It's similar, but this one's all about like when you have moments of like, you know, when like something drops and it like takes your attention away.
Yeah.
This is like these guys like do that to keep like let's say the prophecy,
timeline or
the
like something
timeline
like,
proper, because it distracts you from doing something different.
Okay.
And it keeps everything proper.
In real life or in the movie?
Well, in real life, like they're like that. The behind the scenes.
No, but I mean, like, I just
they come in and make these things happen so that
I just wasn't sure if you meant
happens.
that that's how it's filmed or that's how the story in the movie goes.
It's the story of the movie, right? Yeah. So then, obviously, like the Matrix, the main character starts to like break through the reality of things or whatever, right? And it's like, oh, like things are set up to be this way.
Free
you know?
Guy.
Yes, I have with Ryan.
I feel like we may have talked about it before, but I didn't see it. And then at some point I saw it.
You saw it,
and like at first it was like I feel like I kind of struggled with it at first.
It's
like not that I didn't like it, it's just that I was like, okay, like cool movie and stuff, but I'm like, what in the fuck, like, you know? And then I was like, oh, I get it. Yeah, okay, they're like NPCs and like whatever. Because I was like, I thought that because it's a game.
Yeah.
I thought that he was like a character in the game. Like that game was like the metaverse where you go to work and like his job was at the bank or whatever, right? So I thought that he was being played by someone.
Right.
And I was like, man, if I go to the metaverse, the fuck if every time I show up I'm going to the bank and saying the same stupid fucking shit.
Yeah, right.
You know, I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, I was just like, what the fuck? So either way, whatever. It kind of like, it had me a little bit confused at first. And I'm like, oh, I see where they're going with all this. I'm like, yeah. But it was actually a really good movie though.
Yeah, it's a funny ass movie for sure. It's like it's almost like Grand Theft Auto a little bit. Like.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, crazy.
No, it's a good movie.
Yeah, movies that make you think, man, for sure.
You guys, I made a post earlier in my story and I said, did I miss the boat party? Did you see it?
I don't know.
No,
was that like
but,
today?
Well, and that's really just it. But this is like synchronicity as fuck, I guess. But I posted that today because I was like, shit, isn't that like next weekend or something? I'm like, I think it's coming up.
With the live music shit.
And then I realized I'm not 100% sure. I tried to go I tried to go to Vontae's page. I tried to go to Purple Haze Nation's page. I tried a couple different places to try to find out what was happening, or when it was happening. But I'm not sure. But I realized after, I'm like, man, then like that might be tonight. Because I remember talking about maybe going there and doing an episode there instead.
Right.
Or something. Or
yeah, was it? It was June sometime for sure.
And I think it was the 10th.
Damn, man. That came quick.
Yeah.
Everything seemed so far away in the moment, and then it's just like, oh.
That's just it. And we're 18 episodes from 200. Motherfucker. Actually, you know what? We just hit yesterday was our not yesterday, but our last episode was our 200th video.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
damn.
Was that including like all the...
Can you take one for me while you're up?
Yeah, I shall.
You already got a double ding.
All the vlogs and stuff.
Yeah.
And like even that shout out video with Mckenzie and Aaron Cohen and Chris Wavy and I'm not sure. I'm sorry. There's more people. Go check it out. It's on our YouTube. Since you're on our YouTube now.
Yeah. On the homepage. I will fucking take one of those.
Yeah, man.
Oh, thank you. Where did you get these from again?
I got those at Harvey's. Shout out to Harvey's and the fucking donuts. I was gonna say the hamburgers. Their hamburgers are good too. Fucking right. Don't get me wrong. But it's just right now we're talking about donuts, and that's the way it goes.
Damn good.
There's no nobody in the chat, and I'm offended. Oh, I got a text message, you know, and that's not allowed. Oh, did I already tell you guys a story about my sweater? Was that on the podcast or before?
That was before, yeah.
So this is my sweater, and I bought it. That's pretty much it. No, okay, but if anybody knows what it says L'amour, which I think is like the love or like of love. And then up here it says cinema. And it's a there's a girl. Of course, you can see the girl too, and it's a cinema theater, right, in Montreal, and it's where people go, male, female, young, old, whatever, to watch porno in a theater. And
it's kind of weird.
And I went there, and I will say I did not watch porn, but I also will say I'm a little bit...
I wouldn't say that you're weird if you did.
No, yeah, I would just do it for the gimmick, just to be like, I did it. But yeah, I wouldn't do it as a practice. And
but it seems like
well, and that's what I was gonna say too.
Do you have like your little booth you sit in?
Well, I don't know, because whenever I was talking to my brother about it, I was like, oh yeah, this thing, and he's like, because one of our buddies used to work at a place. We called him the fucking jizz mopper, and he was saying that it's like a little booth that you get your own personal little booth, and you like hit the button and the video comes on. But this seemed like when you walked in, there was like these like red like kind of cushiony doors, and then like it looked like it just, you go through the lobby and then you fucking go through these doors and you're like in the theater, it looked like, you know. But yeah, so like I said, I didn't go and watch a movie. I just got the fucking sick sweater, but I wanted, like, after I, like, whenever I came home, I was like, keep holding on to the microphone, but whenever I came home, I was like, kind of wish I did see one just for the story. Be like, yeah, I saw fucking ass blasters or like whatever, you know. But so yeah, I feel like I missed that. But while we were there, though,
porn watching poser, and you have like all the
exactly. Yeah, like yeah, man, you been there? What movie you see? Like, I didn't. Or you're like, oh yeah, ass blasters, and they're like, that's not a porno. But no, there was, like I said earlier too, there was like kind of like younger dude walked through. He like paid his money, like walked into the thing. And some older guy came through and he had his like, opens his wallet and shows them he's got the thing like
ready to go.
And then like walks around the corner and he went down the hall though. Like I feel like that's like where the good shit happens.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah. It's like live chicks.
That's hilarious. Montreal.
Stuff is good. Okay. Well,
shit.
What are we saying?
116.
Well,
you owe me a fucking Pepsi.
Yeah, man. All I wanted was a Pepsi, just the one Pepsi. Apart from suicidal tendencies. No? Anybody?
No.
Fred Durst.
No way.
Limp Bizkit.
Which song? I can't remember the time. It's just
Counterfeit. I think it's called Counterfeit.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show you after.
I don't know. I don't think.
Remind me and I'll show you after.
Sure.
What was the other thing I told you guys to remind me? Oh, I did it. The shout out to the lads. Oh, was it something else?
No, it was the shout out.
It was the shout out.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
100%.
Sick. Okay.
That's right.
Well, I don't know. You guys got anything to say? Anybody? Anything you want to tell these motherfuckers?
Actually, you know what? I don't think we did say it. We've missed a couple RIPs lately, I think.
That's right.
But rest in peace, Ray Liotta, man.
Factuals. Yeah.
Tommy Vercetti.
Fucking right. George's dad.
George
Young.
Yeah. Blow.
Yeah, man.
Johnny
that's crazy.
Depp played George.
Yeah, true. But that's crazy. Circle. I like Ray Liotta. He was also
he was in like Goodfellas and
but come on, it's coming to me, and you're gonna like it too. Field of Dreams. Yeah, he was one of the baseball players in Field of Dreams. I feel like I could be correct on that.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, for sure. Kevin Costner's like the main actor. Yeah,
if you build it, they will come.
Yeah, that's right.
With torque comes horsepower. If you build it, they will come.
Oh
shit. Anyways, but
voice actor for Tommy Vercetti on GTA Vice City too.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people know that, so I want to throw that out there.
Did you know fucking Tyler the Creator has voices on GTA?
And he has music on it as well.
Yeah.
I think he's even I don't think he's a DJ on there. He just has music and like an ad on one of the radio stations.
Oh fucking! But I showed like him standing there, or not him, but a character standing there, and he was like talking and shit. And I was like, holy shit! It's fucking.
Yeah, they got a lot of shit going on for in like even for like music artists in GTA.
Yeah.
Like Big Boy. Big Boy has like he's one of the hosts.
The radio hosts.
And same with Kenny Loggins for the classic rock one.
Kenny Loggins.
Yeah.
You're listening to Kenny Loggins. Put a log on the fire because you're listening to Kenny Loggins.
Yeah, exactly. That's great.
We got a bunch of loggers listening in from Logging Cabin.
Yeah.
They're out there all weekend just logging.
Logging
this
away.
is Kenny Loggins. Geez. Anyways, I guess that's it. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
As always.
Keep an eye on our Instagram. We got some content coming real soon. That's it's done, I promise, and it's there, and I just have to post it. So
ready to be posted.
Keep an eye for that at 4G Audio Podcast and 4GAudioPodcast.com. I'm pretty sure we got one of those still. You can email us at 4GAudio613@gmail.com. You can hit me up at 613 and almost got you there.
Almost.
Any motherfucking way. I'm Sal's the Prophet.
I'm B-Show.
And I'm Jonesy.
Together with the Basement Weirdos, this is the 4G Audio Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good weekend. Peace out, baby. Episode Blink 182 in the books.
Yeah, catch y'all next.